both youngsters doing very well. They are getting to fend for themselves now. It's mealworms I soak for them there. And as you can see, they're quite tame because they'll be used to me now. Won't you? But he has every right to be wary. I don't blame him. But here we are. Now it's looking more like a bike. So since the last video, handlebars have been totally cleaned up as always when you want to film. It's rarely anything interesting that goes past when I do happen to be filming. We do get some interesting trains go past here, but I'm never with the camera when they do go by. These are as good as they're going to get now. The chrome is quite poor, but for the age of them, I can't really complain, and they're original. At least they are structurally sound, as are the brake levers. And you'll notice that we've got quite a good distance there between bar and brake, so there's plenty there. We're going to get plenty of leverage on those brakes for good stopping power. I have set up the front. That's all reattached now and in order. So you'll just see there where I've fitted the crank, it's not touching the mudguard. There's plenty of clearance, and with minimal movement, that is applying the brake. So we've got plenty of braking force available. And I've just tested it with the wheels spinning just to make sure it's not dragging. It isn't. And the adjuster there, can you see that? I hope you can. I'm sorry, I'm having the usual focus camera issues, but you can just see the thread, the end of the rod is just visible, which needs to be seen there. You must have some of the thread visible, so that is nice and secure. You see, the nice feature is that adjuster nut there, it is shaped to match the round profile of the lever, so that it remains in place and wear is kept at a minimum. In other words, that knurled knob isn't going to turn by itself. It won't come loose or tighten up inadvertently because it's secured by design. Very nice indeed. The lamp bracket, well, less said about that the better really. totally gone with the chrome. Plenty of lamp brackets knocking about though in good condition, so maybe on my travels or whatever I might come across another better one. Incidentally, in one of my idle moments, I was just thinking it's entirely conceivable that this bike could have had oil lamps in period, with it being 1935. Now, I know oil lamps by then were old hats and probably very seldom used, certainly by the keen cyclists, but the utility rider, you know, a more mature rider who started his cycling career a long time before the 30s, may have invested in a set of oil lights, and as he traded in his machine or replaced his machine, the lighting set usually gets put away and transferred over to the new bike, so that's entirely plausible. Because the thing with oil lights is they were cheap and cheerful. Electric dynamo sets, well, they were the new thing, but I would imagine they were quite expensive. Certainly compared to the oil lights of the day. I think they still made oil lamps in the 30s for bikes. The saddle back in place. Had a clean, believe it or not, it has had a light clean. And the script there, Taybrook, made in England. Not a name, not a manufacturer I've heard of before, but I'm looking forward to being transported on this, because it's a 3-spring job. So we've got the front spring as well. So this saddle is, you see the frame there? So this saddle is completely suspended by the 3 springs, which is nice. You see some of the other saddles, they have a fixed front portion there and the usual springs at the rear, but I'm glad this has got 3 springs sprung all round, so bumps should be quite bouncy and fun on this. You will also note this little accessory, one of my cycle jumble finds and set aside for a bike exactly like this. Even though I got this quite a while before I came across this bike actually, but as I say, I bought it with a view to fitting it to something like this. As you know, it's like with bikes and things, you come across one, and a good one, and the price is right, you can't say no. So that's a nice Dunlop rubber tool bag there. I've also got a nice pump to go with it, to be revealed in a later video, and I just want to now make mention of the handlebar grips I've got. I have filed all that roughness off that was caused by the rust. That's all nice and smooth now, and I've treated it with Cure Rust to stop it from erupting again. And the grips I have got for it are these absolute crackers, them Dunlop rubber, nice big, nice chunky grip, should be quite comfortable, although I've got a feeling these might be ladies' grips, possibly if they made gents and ladies, which it wouldn't surprise me in those days, like they did with pedals. The ladies' versions, and saddles as well, even the ladies' versions were, certainly with pedals, were always slightly smaller, but they'll do. The other alternative, I've left for them indoors, but I'll show you in future. Not as nice as these, so I'll pop them on. What else? Still got the rear wheel to do, but at least now I can invert the bike and it won't fall over. It'll be quite stable when I do that on the grass. I have made up a new control cable, but it is, as you can see, too long. I soldered an end onto this, so that's just a case of it needing shortening and re-soldering the end on it. You're better off, you know, much better having it too long than the other way around. If it was too short, it's well, annoying to put it mildly if I would have made that too short. The cranks, the bottom bracket, that's leaking out some excess oil. Just over oiled it slightly, so that's been dripping out, so I'll sort that out. But yep, should be ready to ride in another day or so, or maybe even today, but you'll have to wait for that one. Stay tuned.